I had a really good weekend of practice. Was very pleased with the effort and the commitment to getting better this weekend. We've got a big 3 days coming up beginning this afternoon, and really looking forward to the opportunity to play again on Thursday.
And we can open it up for questions then.
Coach, you said that the responsibility lies on you and your coaching staff to get this team pointed in the right direction. At what point do the players kind of have to take responsibility themselves to help steer the ship?
Well, I think you always want your team to be player-led. I think that gives you the best chance to really max out as a team. And I think we're taking steps in that direction. But again, it's been a crazy year. There certainly will never be any excuses out of our camp. Programs all over the country are facing the same issues that we are. I look to our league alone, guys like Coach Hamilton at EKU, Coach Alexander at Belmont. They've obviously handled it very well. I have not handled it well. I think we've got to take some major strides forward. I think we've grown as a team as far as the chemistry, but I know it's getting very old to keep discussing it. But the bottom line is you're not going to win games when you turn the ball over the way we do, Adam. And so we've got to find ways to cut those down. It's not just the turnovers. It's I know tonight's the national championship game. It's the pick sixes. I mean, we're literally throwing the ball to the other team, going the other way for layups. And those are just backbreakers. So I think it's on everyone in the program to get better and make the corrections. And I know our players are continuing to work hard. And I'm looking forward to seeing if we can make some progress this week.
Kind of coming off of that, we talked before the season about finding, vocal leaders or just leaders in general on this team, because I know Anthony was a big part of that last year. How do you feel like the players have developed in those roles on this team this year? Or are you still wanting to see more guys step up in a leadership role, whether it's vocally or not?
I think it's still a work in progress, and there's a lot of basketball to be played. But I do think leadership's just so important. And, ultimately, Adam, I'm the leader of the program. And so when the program is not delivering the way we would like, that falls on me. And so I've got to do a much better job. Our players just need to come to work every day. They need to work extremely hard. They need to be committed to the culture we've built here. They need to keep a positive mindset through the struggles we've had over the last month and stay focused on getting better and making improvements in the areas we need to improve. And it's really that simple. I mean, we can sit around and say, man, we got to blow things up. We got to change the systems offensively, defensively, so on and so forth. We're not that far off. We got to quit giving the ball away to the other team. We got to quit having so many empty possessions. Our first shot defense has been very good this year. But we have really sabotaged ourselves at the offensive end of the floor. And that's my responsibility to get guys in the positions where they can best impact the game. And so, like I said, I'm very pleased with how our guys have worked this weekend. I think we'll continue to do so this week, heading into a big weekend for our program.
Coach, what has the mindset of the team been during practice during this streak?
Want to get better. I can assure you when you lose games in a row, when you lose the way we've lost, I promise you, there is nobody more disappointed than the players and the coaches. Everyone has invested a lot. Everyone came to Murray State because they want to be a part of this great tradition. They want to win championships. And we haven't played well over the last month. I mean, that's the bottom line. But I think the players are well aware, just as the coaches are, you can't change anything that's happened in the last month. All we can focus on is getting better. I think you have to come together even closer as a team when things aren't going the way you would like, and come together and find ways to A, get better, which hopefully B, will lead to more opportunities to win. And so I've been pleased with our players this week. They're working. They're about the right things. We've got great character in our locker room, and I believe that'll help us get headed back in the right direction.
Any others?
Coach, it seems like the last few times that you've talked to me, it seems like getting the same questions, having to say the same answers. How hard is that for you and your guys?
No, it's part of it. It's part of coaching college basketball is answering these questions when things aren't going the way you would like them to go. So I can assure you we're on the practice floor working extremely hard. We're in individual workouts, working to improve our fundamentals. We're studying the film. We will keep working to get better. And I know that's cliche, but that's all you can do. This is a process. And you have to stay committed to the process to ultimately get the results you want. And so I believe in that. We're going to continue to work, hopefully make improvements at the offensive end of the floor, which will enable us to eliminate so many of these unforced turnovers that are not only preventing us from scoring, but they're leading to points for the other team. And I know that sounds simple and it's easier said than done, but we have to get better there. And that's just the bottom line.
With SEMO, I guess, having a pause right now, I guess you guys are, am I correct in saying you guys are just waiting to see with where they're at? And I guess with COVID happening all around, you guys are practicing hard. I would assume a W could really help with the mental, and yet trying to figure out when you might step on the court next. Is that tough as well?
I don't think so. I think everybody's dealing with the same things. As far as I've been told, their games were postponed on Saturday and Monday, and we're set to roll on Thursday until we're told otherwise. So, we try to not to get too far ahead of ourselves anyway. I mean, we need the practice time. I mean, we need it. So I'm hoping this week from Thursday night's game to this upcoming Thursday with SEMO, I'm hoping it will have been very beneficial for us by the time we get back on the game floor. I hope there'll be drastic improvement in our offensive execution. I hope that'll lead to more success on the game or in the game, excuse me. So, yeah, no, we can't worry about the things that are out of our control.
What would you still have some more practice time, but what would you like to see Thursday? And what do you want to see out of you guys that shows that it's translating from practice into the game?
Well, most importantly for me is how you play the game. We talk about our culture a lot. I think I want to see us play with relentless effort every possession we're on the floor. I want us to play with great toughness. I want us to play with great unselfishness. I think those things ultimately translate to successful basketball teams. As I mentioned, and I know it'll continue to come up until we improve it, is the turnover situation. And we can go over it on and on and on, but I mean, the bottom line, you can't win when you turn the ball over at the rate we turn it over. For the simple reason I said is, number one, you're limiting your opportunities to score. Where we're top 10 in the country in layups this year. I mean, when we've executed, we've gotten good opportunities to score. But when you're turning it over like we do, not only do you not score, but you're providing easy opportunities for the opponent to score in transition. And so I think a lot of our issues really just point to that, the ability to execute better and take care of the ball.
And then the last thing from me, what kind of challenges does SEMO present? What do you see from them that in the game plan?
Yeah, Jason, really well coached. They play extremely hard. They run a lot of different things offensively that can space you out and enable their guys to get downhill and attack the basket. They shoot it well from three. I think they really guard. I mean, you look at their games, they've been in every single game. I think they only lost one by double figures, and that was at Belmont where they were down by 4 with 2.5 minutes to go. They've already played in 4 overtime games this season. So, I think the multiple offensive looks they give you can make it difficult on you. And then I think they're very sound at the defensive end of the floor.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Jason.
Coach,
Anybody else? Go ahead.
yeah, I have another question. Point guard wise, where are you on evaluating those guys? I know we've seen some up and downs from both Juice and Chico. Obviously, turnovers have been an issue for both of those guys, shooting percentage for Juice. What are you wanting to see out of those guys to be able to facilitate the offense that obviously, like you said, has been struggling?
Right. No, I think, Adam, we all know the importance of the point guard position. I think our play has to be just like every other place on the floor, but at the point guard spot especially, we have to be more consistent there. We've had competitive practices this weekend, I should say. I expect to have them again, leading into Thursday, so that we can hopefully see some improvement. But there's certainly not one player or one position you can point to and say, hey, that's why Murray's been struggling over the last 3 to 4 weeks or what have you. So just like every other position, we got to be a lot more consistent. We have to value the ball. We have to make sure we're organized and getting our team into the right offenses. We have to be the head of our defense. The point guard position is usually the guy who starts you off defensively by applying pressure on the other team's point guard. So I really like the players we have at that position. I've got to coach them better, and we got to play better. And it's really that simple.
My last thing for you is I know you don't like talking about the past and things like that.
Sure.
But obviously you've experienced, the highs of highs at Murray as the head coach, and obviously, those first 2 seasons. Because you're going through this slump right now over this past month that you haven't really gone through in the last 2 years, how much do you kind of look back on those first 2 years and kind of what you did as a coach to help fix that, to help you now? Because obviously you have some background on how to coach a team and mentally prepare them when they're in this slump.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good point, Adam. I mean, those first 2 years made me who I am as a coach today, going through the struggles of building a program and getting the right pieces in place, the right people on the bus, defining your philosophy offensively, defensively, special teams, what you want the culture of your locker room to be. So, all of those struggles, I'm thankful for all of them, just as I'm thankful for the struggles of our team right now. Adam, it's a lot of fun in coaching when you're cutting down the nets in Evansville, or when you're clinching your 3rd straight regular season title on your home court in front of 9,000 people, or when you're in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn for the NBA draft. That's a lot of fun, but that's not the only reason you coach. I enjoy coaching to fight through times like these, to see if we can come together as a team, handle the adversity that we faced over the last month, get better, make the improvements, and see if we can put our team in a position to win games. So I think when you do struggle, I think that's a good time to really sit back and reflect on why you're doing what you're doing. And, the reason I coach is to try to help, number one, our team become the best team we're capable of being. And number 2, help each player max out and become the best they're capable of being on and off the court. And so I just go back to those 2 principles and stay focused on getting better. And, there's no cliche that's going to appease the disappointment of losing, whether it's players, coaches, fans, alumni, and so forth. But I do know this, sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, whether you're a player or a coach, isn't going to fix anything. So you just get back to work, keep a positive mindset, come together as a team and find ways to win. And that's what we intend to do.